Hey guys, this is Pooja Gupta. Welcome to Media Mentor. With this video, I'll be introducing a new segment on my channel wherein I'll come up with the videos discussing with the students on the various issues. As I feel it's a high time that we hear our students' opinion. It's really important to understand their perspective, their ideas. Today's topic is really close to the student community. Hence, I thought it's really important to discuss this issue. Our today's topic is on the boys' locker room issue. We will be discussing about what is happening with the kids today, how social media is impacting the young generation. What can we do about it? Today, there are few students who are joining me. I'm really happy that they have their views on this and are vocal about such issues. So, let's start. Hey guys, thank you for accepting the request. And this is the first time that I'm doing this group discussion with the student community. I have like all my panelists. There is Cleon, there's Genevieve, Malvika Shetty, Delvin Davis, and Ryan Thomas. So today's discussion, I'll not call it as a debate. This discussion is on the issue and the hot topic, which is all around social media and mainstream media as well, which is talking about boys' locker room and girls' locker room. So herein we are not there to pass any judgment. And as you can see, the panelists are all students. So we are trying to just understand the different perspective for the culture. So the opening comment, I would like to ask Malvika that, what is your opinion on the whole issue?
I think, first of all, they are boys aged between 15, 16, 17. They are kids, and kids saying such disgusting things is quite disturbing. And as a woman, I feel attacked some way or the other because even I put pictures on social media. I have friends, I know people around me who say stuff like this, and it is really disturbing. And yeah.
Okay, going into Cleon.
So I would like to say that it's first of all what happened was really wrong. It's body shaming a person, which is not acceptable. Be it a girl, be it a guy, be it whoever. Just body shaming someone is absolutely wrong, and it's something that we really need to look into.
Mm-hmm. Genevieve, what is your opinion on the whole issue?
The point is, like, even after all this has happened, we have to kind of figure out what exactly made these people do it. Is it just
Yeah.
their education, or is it is the social media, or is it what are the influences they are getting, from where they are getting, and why they are doing these kind of things? That is really confusing, and very it is putting a very negative spread, like.
Mm-hmm. Delvin, what you think?
Yeah, so I do believe that whatever happened was wrong. It was in a very bad taste and was something that was not
Yeah.
supposed to take place. But the way this issue was dealt with was not, the right way of going ahead, to find a solution to a particular problem. It
Yeah.
was mainly a thing that was driven by clout and fame, but not by the drive to actually find a solution to the problem that was at hand. And another major problem that I found was it was basically condemning a gender, but not condemning the practice itself. So
Yeah,
yeah,
actually, we have to look at the practice rather than talking about just the gender and the whole issue.
exactly.
Ryan, coming to you, what is that you think about the whole thing?
Unmute yourself.
Trying your mute.
Yeah, as Delvin said, it's actually really messed up seeing that age group talk about all this stuff at that age. And another thing, important thing is like we should really start sexual education at like a pretty low age, like in school, like probably from
Mm-hmm.
the fifth, and not be really awkward about it. Like the teachers should understand and realize like what the students face, and so that they actually really understand each gender, so that this doesn't happen often.
Okay, so guys, now it's open. Anyone can, come in. The whole thing is, do you think, as continuing with the Ryan's point, that the sexual education, when we talk about the sex education coming in early or discussed openly, will it bring in little change? I mean, sex education can be one of the factor, I would say. Can I say that?
So sex education as a whole, I don't think is going to bring about a major change, because at this
Okay.
point we're in a generation because we are already exposed to such stuff at a young age itself. So I could ask a 10th standard guy all about sex, and he would know everything about sex. What is there to be said about it? So I feel sex education is there, but the problem is the way it is imparted. The kind
Yeah,
of sex
true.
education that the children get is from different sources of media, maybe
True.
YouTube or through porn, stuff like that, but not
Yeah.
True.
by a proper source. So that's where the school comes in, because that's where you can indulge the students right from a young age into understanding what sex is, and everything that revolves around it, and consent. Basically, consent.
Yeah.
Consent is one of
Yeah.
the major things that people don't talk about.
Yeah.
So all these
True.
things is supposed to be imparted through through school, through proper mediums. But as far as I know, sex education is already there. People understand what it is, but it is not
True.
imparted in the right way.
In a
And
right
also the
way.
schools have to make sure
Yeah.
that compartmentalization of genders do not happen in school at all. Like you cannot say this is a girl's problem, this is a guy's problem. Girls are this, guys are that. That cannot happen, because that's exactly the beginning of a rift between the two genders, and we do not see equality right there. So that's the thing that I have to say.
Yeah, the basic difference as in society, or the as an education system, where we bring in that this is a boys section, this is a girls section, and all sort of things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely there, and I think that should change. And as Delvin is mentioning, that how the sex education is imparted is very important. I mean, as I said,
True.
if I want to know about sex, you can just go and Google. I mean, the basic thing. If you don't want to ask someone, you can do that. Coming to Ryan, you have studied.
Yeah.
You have done your schooling from Dubai. So
Tell
what
me.
do you think? What can you differentiate something, the cultural difference, as in you are here since last 1 or 2 years, right? 1 year. So do you
Yeah,
think there's a
3
difference
years.
in how the students attitude and behavior here and it was there? I mean, just for our understanding.
I mean, I wouldn't say like much difference,
Mhm.
but probably the way the people think and the mentality is, that might be totally different. Because back there in Dubai, you have to follow certain rules, which is like pretty strict, so you can't really cross them. So that's like the main thing over there. And over here, I mean, there are rules, but like it's more of
Not
in a
followed.
way in which yeah, you can say not follow, but then
Yeah.
It's not as stringent
it
as
can be
it was in
handled.
Dubai.
It can be handled. That's what I meant.
Yeah, like
So
the
before
attitude of it's okay. Yeah, Cleon.
we
Yeah.
go ahead and say that sex education and all of this, I think the first thing that education needs to teach the generation today is to accept a no for an answer. So if a girl says no, you gotta learn to accept that fact that okay, it's not what she wants and it's fine. I gotta accept it, that no can be an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So it starts like right from a young age to when a child is asking his parent for some toy or for some chocolate.
Yeah,
It's
it's a very
something where
important point, Leon. I mean, not only girl,
True.
I would say, even as a teacher, I've experienced that when I say that, this project is not good, some students' ka reaction is like, itna to kiya hai na. I mean, I'm saying the rejection. You guys, all of you can make a point on that. Is that a problem? I mean, rejection or no for anything, is that something that hits you really hard and you say, no, this is, I mean, how can somebody say no? I mean, Cleon highlighted the point of a girl saying no. I'm highlighting a point that, if I'm rejecting something, you guys are, students, I'm rejecting this project is not okay. Sometimes, even teachers can be wrong. I'm not saying 100% they are correct. But do you think, yes, this is a major point that we should take no as an answer and we should accept, okay, fine, if somebody said no, is fine.
Yes, I feel that's a very strong point, because most of the times when we face rejection, that's when we do things out of anger, out of revenge, and that leads to something negative in the society.
Right.
Should definitely be like, you should be learning how to face rejection. But
Yeah.
I feel the thing is actually the example that you gave about the project, so it's like when people know that they can get away with it, that's when they are more inclined to feel bad about the rejection. It's like the
Yeah.
project in that sense. Like even if they know they're not going to make it all right, or even if they know okay, whatever they've given is fine, they still know they're going to pass and go ahead, right? that's when a no is taken for granted, because then you're like, okay, I've done so much, I can still go ahead. Why you want me to change it just to go to the same destination I'm anyway going to go?
Yeah.
Right.
So that's where the problem is. It's not about facing rejection, because I think a lot of people have faced rejection. It's inevitably the way of life. You end up facing
True,
rejection.
true. Yeah.
Especially when you're in childhood, you're going to face a lot of rejection from your parents itself, and you're not going to backlash most of it. You're right. The
Mm-hmm,
problem
mm-hmm.
is the circumstances that leads to the rejection, and what we have in mind, or the consequence of that particular rejection. So that's
Yeah.
where, and also one of the major thing is, I honestly, though I'm an agnostic, I totally believe that we waste a lot of time in school teaching value education and religion as two subjects, which is not at all important. In fact, if you impart that particular time and your daily time or weekly time into doing value education, or education of maybe sex education or something like that, as you said, it's important to understand the value of
Mm-hmm,
of
mm-hmm.
consent. All that is actually imparted in school within the school time, if that's given that much importance. Because the problem is, we don't give importance to things that we see adults are not giving importance to. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't give much importance to something that I see my parents are okay fine with it. But if I
Yeah.
see them giving equal importance to it, I'll think about it as the same, with the same level of intensity. That's what we are lacking. Because again, as one of you mentioned, though we are having what, though the students are getting what they want, but it is not in the way they, that is actually going to help them inculcate those values. It is just a
Yeah.
passing by thing. So that's where the
Mm-hmm.
problem lies.
When we are talking about, see, there's a whole education system, there is whole societal thing, and when it comes to the teenagers attitude and language, like as we can say some words which is considered as abuse is okay with teenagers using it like as a friendly chat. Do you think there's a thin line, or there's some problem with that as well?
Personally, I believe that everyone has their own private space, their own personal space,
Yeah.
and you have a circle which you are comfortable with coming into that space. So I have my really close friends, and I have some people who are not really close to me. So if my really close friend would address me with some abuse, like, but in a way calling me, but like he may be like, hey, so and so, come here. And I relate to it because we do call each other like that. We are comfortable on that level. It
Mm-hmm.
will be taken as on my side as, oh, it's okay. But if someone outside my comfort zone calls me like that, it's going to hurt,
Mm-hmm.
because I am not comfortable with you and we don't share that kind of a bond.
No,
And
that's what I'm
someone saying
saying.
like that,
See, understanding of whole thing is that that using such language is a cool factor these days. I mean, using a word, for example, whether it's fuck word, whether it's bitch word, it's a cool factor. So, do you think even these things are playing a major role when it comes to kids? I mean, you guys are teenagers. You go back like 5, 7 years, they are kids. So when you do that thing, do you think that becomes a cool factor and all such things? Because see, when we are talking about this thing, boys locker room, it was a chat. Again, there was no crime done. According to, if you talk about legality and law, there is no crime done. It was a chat. So how you define these things?
People read so
So
many things on Instagram and things. So it is pretty, like you said, they want to feel cool and not be left out from the current trend that's going on. And without realizing, you're into the trend, you get pulled into it, and it keeps building up.
Mm-hmm.
And you reach a point where you're like, you actually are very comfortable with it, even though it's wrong. You know it somewhere, maybe this person saying is wrong, but then somebody else will have opinion that it's cool what he or she said. Then you will have a double mind. You'll be like, oh, okay, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm still not in the trend, or maybe I'm out of it. And people keep influencing each other that way. That's what I feel.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so the problem lies wherein the media or the industry, like the internet or something, that romanticizes these user words. And when
Yeah.
you see a TV show that you like, and all the characters in TV show call each other by abusives and all, so you feel that's exactly what that you have a mentality that's cool. So now if I'll do to my friends, I'm cool too. So the problem, I wouldn't say lies with the people themselves, but into
Yeah.
what they're actually consuming as far as daily entertainment goes, or
Consuming.
as far as whatever goes. Yeah, it's consumerism. Like whatever you consume, you become basically. So
Yeah,
there's a philosophy
exactly.
that I've read somewhere. You are a part of every person you are friends with.
You're friends with.
You are
Very well.
you are yeah. Every person you're friends with, you are just a culmination of different parts of them.
Yeah.
So whatever you see, in fact, is going to influence you. And though I don't particularly am of the belief that that is going to cause a major rift in their personality as such, Because we all, in fact, everyone right now in the chat, all of us have done this throughout our lives, calling our friends abusive and all of that stuff.
Yeah, true.
And I believe we
all
have turned
done it.
out pretty decent. We've turned out pretty
Yeah,
decently.
exactly. Even we
So,
do that.
yeah, so I don't think it's particularly a problem, but this problem arises when it goes above the abusives. When you start consuming stuff that shows rape culture is fine, or that shows molestation of women is fine, or that shows patriarchy is fine, that's where the lines are blurred. That's what tips the people into what those boys locker room chats did, or stuff like that. But as far as you're considering abusives, I think it's all right. I mean, it's just what it is. And I mean, in fact, it was cool to at a point when the whites called the blacks niggers, and right, it's not cool anymore. There had to be a change, right? And that change, well, in that particular sense, it was for good. But at this particular sense, the change is something. It is not turned bad yet, but I wouldn't deem it good either. It's like somewhere in the gray area.
Yeah, somewhere in the gray area, wherein you use it as an expression. At times, most of us, we all have done that, right? Something happens and we abuse, and it's not like we are abusing someone. We are just, it's an expression. It just comes out. Damn, this is the thing. So, all of these things, when we put in context and when we see the kids getting influenced, I mean, as we are talking about the whole generation thing, Gen Next, which we are talking about. They're not even millennials, right? We're talking about they are consuming this social media a lot. Now, not even like movies mein thoda censor tha, right? There's a censorship on the movies that adult rated hai to chal nahi dikhega. But what about this whole social media platform opening up? And they have an so-called influencers. And if you see the followers, the demography, which you see the gender age, comes from 6 to 12 to 14. And the content is not even up to the mark that they should be consuming. So what do you think about that particular thing? Because that's a data. That's not even an assumption. That's a data.
As far as influencers go, they themselves are products of these big conglomerates.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
the fact that I spoke to you a while ago when you said about Superwoman, how Lily Singh is influencing young girls to go certain sense. That's true, because right now, if you see, there's a huge boom in the makeup industry, where people are buying and hoarding and applying, especially the girls are various makeup products and stuff. Why has it increased? It's because of these influencers, because of the way they portray themselves on social media, and how it makes them beautiful and stuff like that. And it is just the way these big conglomerates are playing these influencers to influence these normal lay kids to get in a path which gives them a larger profit. So at the end of the day, I don't think the influencers as such are a problem. The problem lies way up ahead, where
no, not influencers as a problem. I mean the content which they are working on. They are trying to put in context. See, some things called my body, my rights. All things are good. I mean, there's an understanding. If you tell me to understand about my body, my rights, I will. If you tell Malvika, she will understand because she is in that particular age. But if it is said to a girl who is 9-year-old, my body, my choice, so like, when she reaches at the age of 12, she thinks, okay, wearing such kind of clothes is my body, my choice. In place, certain location is very different than what you're doing it for the sake of doing, because you want to. Where the celebrities are wearing such clothes is on a red carpet, on something like that. But when you see kids, especially I'll call them kids, because I go to a function, and I see this 14, 15-year-old wearing this big heels. They can't even walk properly, you can say. So, all this influencing is not in a negative way, but they are considering themselves to be an adult before they are reaching even teenage.
I think
The
it's
problem about this generation also is that they think too much about themselves. They're like, we know everything. We are supposed to know everything. The people who are older to us, they don't deserve any respect, since they are not able to cope up with our generation and all of that stuff. That is also one factor.
So
to add to that, like more thing which affects is the surrounding and the people around you. So like maybe at an early age, the girl is told that like by her friend, she's told that she looks fat or she doesn't look like this, she needs to have this particular body type, look beautiful, look pretty, or whatever. So that goes automatically in their mind, and that from that moment it starts through their journey just to look better and whatever. So maybe that can be a change.
I think why influencers work and why they influence people in such a way is because as a kid, if I'm doing something, I would want to be told what you're doing is right, continue doing it. And that's exactly what the influencers do.
Yeah. Here
That's
comes the
exactly what
point.
the influencers. Yeah, that's exactly what the
Exactly. You know,
influencers do.
it's like,
They just come out
तू
and
सही
say,
है. Yeah.
"Huh, my body, my
तू जो
right.
कर
I'm doing
रहा है,
whatever sahi kar
exactly.
raha hai." But
Yeah.
the line where the line is drawn is when what the influencers doing is in our own social circle, is in our own
Exactly.
things, and is in
Yeah.
at our own age. But if
On
as a
age,
9-year-old,
yeah.
yeah, on our age, right? And as a 9-year-old,
Mhm.
when I watch something like that, and she tells me what you're doing is right, and I'm just trying to copy her. I'm not of that age yet, and still I'm just trying
Exactly.
to follow the steps of this so-called influencer to look cool, or to catch up with a trend or whatever.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So at the end, yeah. So at the end of the day, it's like it's a marketing technique. Like it's just telling what the people want to hear, and once they hear that, they just get more. They just get confidence within themselves. Ki, हाँ, जो मैं कर रहा हूँ सही है. So I'll keep on doing it without thinking
Mhm.
about the repercussions, because these influencers are not talking about the repercussions at all.
Exactly. And you know
Yes.
what, like here I'll talk as like you are students, and you know, when I'm teaching, when it comes to, when I see some of the stories, like most of them have not completed their graduation. So you know, certain kids will come up with this attitude saying कि ये पढ़ने लिखने का क्या फायदा है. You know, even I believe at times, because just the degree will not give you everything in life, right? Even the basic, as we are talking about, again the issue goes back to the international board, goes back to a good background culture students. So education, when you're talking about, and you know, the kind of things I see around, Bill Gates ne padhai nahi ki hai. You know, you talk about this one, what Apple co-founder Steve Jobs is a
Steve Jobs.
college dropout, but nobody tried to find out that boss what he was learning when he dropped out, and then
Yeah.
he implemented. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, the story, the way it is put forward, education ka kya faida, but nobody's trying to understand that gap. So I'm saying somewhere
The
when this
gap, yeah.
marketing, when Delvin mentioned marketing chal raha hai, are kya faida, you know, all these things, but what they are doing, the actual hardship, nobody's talking about.
Right.
That's the thing.
I think
So
that's the. Oh, right. Okay. So
no, no,
Yeah, yeah,
Malvika,
go ahead, go
continue,
ahead.
continue.
So I think that's the major flaw of our generation, especially Gen Z, that they don't have any aims, or I'm not saying not all, there are some, but most of them don't have an aim or focus, or not, they are not determined कि ये करना है मुझे. And with access to everything, they know there's so many other options to earn money. So the
Yeah,
focus keeps shifting. You start something, you fail, or you think, oh, there's another option, I'll go for that, or another option. So you keep shifting. There's no focus. You indulge so much on social media, and you get influenced in the wrong way. So something we need to work on.
Yeah. Also, here I would like to bring the topic about westernization. Uh, I'll tell you how it ties into this. So as I said, we're exposed to Western culture, and we consume it and we love it, and we want to live that lifestyle over here. And
yeah,
bringing it back to the influencers and the feminism, the way the things are marketed on this influencing page. One thing that I've seen that's been booming over the last 1 year is this entire idea of free the nipple.
yeah,
Yeah, so you guys have
yeah,
heard
there's a
about
whole
it, right? It's like,
campaign running
yeah, it's a whole
from it.
campaign. It's
Yeah,
like I'm a feminist, my body, my rules. I'm gonna
yeah,
I'm gonna walk nude and stuff like that.
yeah,
The problem is the Western culture is already acclimated to that idea. They have nude beaches, they
exactly,
have stuff
exactly.
like this that is already into their mentality, into their psyche. But the
Yeah,
problem is when you use something like that, and me being an Indian, I am influenced by that Western culture, and I'm seeing that every day on some influencer's page. I use the entire idea of free the nipple back in India, where we have not even gone past patriarchy yet. That's where the
yeah,
problem lies.
exactly. Yeah,
So this influencing also ties into the geographical differences that we face, which we don't realize because the influencers don't tell us. They
yeah.
just tell us what you're doing is right, but they're doing it there and we are doing it here. That's the entire problem.
No, I'm glad that, you know, we are discussing these things. You guys are aware of these things. I mean, you know, there's a thin line. There is a lot of things which are hidden. There's a lot of things which has not been revealed. And as, you know, Delvin is talking, when Malvika also mentioned that, you know, these things are never come into limelight. And there are very unfortunate people, those who think it's a reality. I mean, you know, putting up such things or talking about such thing, is this what is the life looks like? I mean, all this social media culture, when you talk about, like Instagrammers you see, and now the TikTok has changed the world on a different level. So I mean, you know, I saw yesterday there was a news, TikTok versus YouTube, and I'm
Carry
like,
Minati.
yeah, I mean, he crossed all the viewership of I mean, the video watch time ever, I guess. He got the highest view on that. But what he did, he has done all the abusive thing possible. Indeed, it was entertaining. I would not say anything. It was entertaining, but what are you trying to do? I mean, these two platforms are incomparable. When you talk about YouTube, it is more of a content, more of, you know, larger videos. When you talk about TikTok, yeah, majority of Indian audience are consuming it because time pass हो रहा है. और तू भी director, मैं भी director. I mean, कोई भी phone पकड़ के you just add on the effects, and what you have to do, like do expressions. But I will say that is a different set of talents. और ये लोग दोनों एक दूसरे को, I mean, I don't know what is your opinion, you can share, but in my opinion there is no comparison. These both of them, like, I mean, TikTokers and YouTubers both are trying to gain views, I guess. I mean, I
Yeah,
feel
it's just
that.
a publicity stunt, like how
Yeah.
diss track happens, like how MEB comes and disses Raftar and Raftar disses
Yeah,
back.
exactly.
Or how
Now they're
Eminem comes
friends.
and disses
Now they're
Machine Gun
friends.
Kelly. Yeah, it's all just a way of gaining popularity because
Exactly. I mean,
and
I
we
saw
all
this.
we as general public get caught up into it. That's the problem of it.
Yeah, I'm saying,
Yeah.
you know, yeah, Malvika, go ahead.
As a quarantine just push everything further. Everyone's going in for this because there's nothing else to do. Like, hey, TikTok, let's try it because we have so much of time on our hands. So that's
And
how
Genevieve also started TikTok recently, you know. Genevieve, your
Yeah.
experience about TikTok is recently started, and she's doing a good job in that.
It is just a way to pass your time, to be honest. There's nothing great like
exactly.
you want to
Yeah.
think, but yeah.
No, for me, I would say there's a lot of positive things about TikTok because people are getting entertained there. I mean, at the end of the day, the platforms are about entertaining. So let them enjoy what they want to. But comparing yourself and saying, I am better will not take you anywhere because nobody
But
compares.
that's the
Cardi
problem.
B.
What?
Someone was speaking.
No, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay, so that's a problem, right? The thing, as we said, you know, how negative influence is
Mhm.
all in the name of entertainment. That's
Yeah,
why we
yeah,
have to
true.
come into a consensus like entertainment, but at what cost? Like you are entertaining people, well agreed, and I'm okay with it. But you are also influencing people in the wrong way in the name of entertainment, right?
Yeah.
That's what ties into the entire problem that we face, boys locker room, and you know everything that we face eventually, and it's all in the name of entertainment. So that's the
Yeah.
line that we cannot see because it's all gray. Because you know, I will be like, okay, we dikha raha hai as an individual free person. I don't want to watch it. I won't watch it. But the
Yeah.
problem arises when other 50,000 people do watch it and are influenced by it.
Yeah.
So that's a guidelines or the community guidelines that these social media platforms don't particularly, you know, abide by. You know, there are laws, there are community laws, but they don't abide by it. Like Instagram
Yeah.
is supposed to ban nude content immediately
Exactly.
as soon as it's uploaded, but that's not the case. You
But
see a lot of nude content on Instagram.
no, but they have, you know, the protocols. Protocols is like if the nipple is shown, then it's new. But if the whole boobs is shown, is not new.
Yeah, no, exactly.
So that's
That's the
what
thing.
I'm
So
saying. The protocol, they follow the protocol. So legally,
they
you
don't.
cannot sue.
No,
No,
they don't.
legally they do. I mean,
Yeah,
legally they
legally,
do,
yeah.
but ethically they don't.
If you see in their community guidelines page, you see hundreds of laws that they follow.
Yeah.
But it's not actually happening in the app itself. Like I come across a lot of nude content. I'm like, okay, what if my
Exactly, yeah.
11-year-old brother sees this? I mean, I'm seeing it as a different thing because you know I'm of age at this point. But Instagram
Yeah.
is an open source that even my brother or even my sister can use it. And what if he's of a young age and even he can consume such content? So even social media should be held accountable as much as we hold these individual users accountable because
Yeah.
they are providing the platform that these guys are getting, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there should be some content control. I feel like one of the thing
Yeah,
can
totally.
be whatever you're putting, even when it comes to the slang language. I literally is very surprising for me that Hindustani Bhau subscribers kitne hai and why. I mean, can you understand? I'm not blaming him because it's all about subscribers. It's not his fault. People are going and watching and enjoying and calling him as a guest to open a restaurant, and I'm like, whoa, मैंने life में कुछ किया ही नहीं है. I mean, like, you know, sometimes you feel like कि भाई तुम क्यों कर रहे हो ये सब? You can
It's all
get
about
a fame. I mean, imagine
It's all
they are getting so much money. यार हिंदुस्तानी भाव मैं उसका वीडियो स्पीकर पे सुन नहीं सकते हो. I mean, so who is held accountable? Is that guy or the platform which is allowing to express in such an explicit way कि भाई तुम सब कुछ करो, express करो.
Hands down platform, hands down.
I mean, exactly. Like platform should be actually understanding कि भाई ये valuable content है या नहीं है. But again,
Yeah.
as we are coming and boiling down to marketing, right? They need somebody to entertain. They need somebody to indulge in.
Totally.
And when it comes to platform, they want to make money, right? And then as now when these things are happening, we will never reach to a conclusion as we can discuss overnight about this. Because control kaise karoge? Like when, as I said, when we are like watching a YouTube video, suggestion comes in something else on. In suggestion, I see a lot of things which is maybe relevant but not even relevant. And now this Corona time has got everything online. Yeah, I mean, how to control now youngsters? Now to like forcefully to online ja. What to do now? I mean, like
So you cannot actually control all this
yeah,
solely because of the reason that we advocate the right to freedom of speech and just the general freedom. Like
Mhm.
I can be on social media and I can, openly tell I don't like what you're saying, you suck and stuff like that. But the problem is there's a thin line between hate speech and free speech, and that
Yeah,
line is what we don't notice. And
yeah,
when someone like Trump comes out and every day on his account tweets like legitimately hate speech against world leaders and stuff like that, and about his
Correct.
own senate and all, and when Twitter, such a huge platform, is supporting it by not
Mhm.
putting any constraints on his tweets, we as individual citizens, as laymen,
The thing
see
that
that it's all right. So at the end of the day, it all boils down to the platform itself. It is the platform that
yeah,
is a problem because it's providing this,
I
medium for others to
I
exploit it.
feel that platforms need to have a policy that says your opinion will be will be put forth only if your opinion does not harm anyone else's existence.
yeah.
Because you see,
Again, yeah.
most of the people's opinion is actually just shaming other people.
Mm.
It's not like an opinion, like having a wide opinion, like a really good opinion, but it's insulting someone in their opinion,
Yeah,
which
but
It's
is
then
all in
the
the
something
name of
really,
speech.
yeah, it's all
yeah,
in the name of freedom of
precisely, it's a
speech.
lot of hate.
The content is going on. A consumer will consume because whatever you show. The whole thing is about what kind of content you have, all the protocols and norms, but again, how much it is followed. I mean, whether it's the language, whether it's the nude pictures, whether it's whatever. And there was a news which was internationally covered. I don't know whether you guys have heard about it or no. When this whole lockdown started in India, the consumption of porn spiked up to
Correct.
95%.
Yeah,
And
I've
Yeah,
read it.
if you have
Correct.
read it, somebody wants to mention it. What kind of porn? The downloads of child porn increased, spiked up for 95%. And especially the child getting raped, or these kind of search words. And this was highlighted by one of the NGO which works for the Child Protection Act, that this is a matter of concern. We are, yes, talking about something like boys locker room, but this is also a concern, guys. I mean, if the porn which is having a child rape and all is being, do you think somewhere everything is messed up here?
it sure
Basically,
is.
just giving them more ideas.
It
It's
was just
just weird.
it was 2 days ago that I was having a chat with one of my friend in the US, and she was telling me that she is on one of these platforms where you get randomly matched with people and you just have a conversation with them.
Mm-hmm.
So she got matched with a 30-year-old man who asked her age, and she was like, I'm 19. So he asked her, do you have a younger sister? So she's like, yeah, I do. And he turns around and tells her, can you click nude pictures of her and send it to me?
She didn't file a complaint or
And
anything.
she did report the guy to the app itself, but I don't think these apps really take much of an action against people like this.
Those
Yeah,
apps are like kind of meant for people like that to come and
to hook
approach.
up.
Like the app will not do anything at all against this
And I'm
Perfect.
pretty
because
sure
the app
even if
wants such people driven towards it.
even if you might have reported or even filed an FIR against that guy I'm pretty sure is not in his own identity in that particular app. Like there's no way
Exactly.
you're
Perfect.
gonna get
Again,
back
True,
to him.
Exactly.
true, true.
again the platform. Can you see,
No,
like,
no,
all these hookup platforms wherein, they are meant to, I mean, dating, people have also got married on those apps. I'll not, but that platform gives you the liberty to do that, right? Again,
Yeah.
we are boiling down to the platform wherein it's really disgusting that the person is asking for the younger sisters pictures and all, and that too straightforward. Here there is
Exactly.
no, I mean, yeah, that's something really shocking, that we talk about these platforms are freedom of expressions, but where it is leading to, that is a
No, that's
very
the
big
thing.
question.
So that's what I think I told in the previous thing, right? About accountability. The platforms do not provide accountability. You are thriving on anonymity that these platforms provide. In fact, I don't know how many of you use Reddit, but if you really go deep
Correct.
into Reddit, you can find a lot of stuff that are illegal. Like
Mhm.
if you
Yes.
really dive deep, and it's all a legal platform.
True.
It's not a part of the dark web. You can easily
Correct.
even
Reddit is a
even a
legal
10-year-old can easily use it. And I can
Yeah.
get down to a point where it actually gets so illegal. Even I've got disturbed after seeing some posts. So
Mhm.
I'm like, this is openly available. When you say you find all this in the dark web, I'm like, fine. A person still has to go through a lot of stuff, and it is illegal. As soon as you know you're logged in, if you don't hide your VPN, the police can catch you. So
Okay.
it's still in the illegal spectrum. So you still have
Yeah.
you're still accountable to a certain extent. But a platform like Reddit is in the very legal it's very legal in the thing. So no one can come and arrest you just for going through something or posting something. Whereas when you go deep into Reddit, you really find some disturbing stuff. So it's all right. It's Reddit was supposed to be accountable for it, not the people who post it. I mean, obviously they are accountable equally, but the fact that that platform is
The
allowing it to
Reddit
be
should
exposed,
take action. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Like it's kind of giving away to the kinks of people that usually you don't get a platform to. Like there's a whole subreddit for cocaine. Like your consumption of cocaine. People are putting photos with cocaine and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That wouldn't be possible on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter,
Yeah.
because then you have strict actions taken against you then and there. But Reddit, since it provides anonymity, you can openly do it.
Yeah.
So again, accountability comes into the picture because these platforms do not provide that. Like even if someone is doing something illegal, there's no way to backtrack it to them. Catch this person because of that. So even when you pictured, tied back to the boys' locker room, when that guy it was not boys' locker room, sorry, the Me Too movement, that Manav guy who committed suicide, after 2 days,
Yeah.
when that girl is like hands down accountable for the abetment of suicide, and it is it's a what do you say? It's a crime, right? Abetment of suicide is a crime, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
But
It
she was
is.
not
It
charged,
is.
nor an FIR was filed. None of it was done because no accountability. Because it's a free speech. It's the name of free speech on social
Free
media platform,
speech
right?
of social
Yeah,
media
Correct.
as long as
platform.
there are no laws that shows hey, this is not free speech, it's a hate speech, or shaming someone online is not right, unless laws exist of that matter, of that
Yeah.
of that extent, then accountability is not going to come into the picture, and people are still going to be able to do whatever they want in the name of free speech. So it all still boils down to the platform, at least the things that they provide.
At
They're
least,
not
yeah. So
directly accountable for it, but yeah.
yeah. So we can actually say that, somewhere as, generation is moving, or we are more on the internet and social media platforms and internet platform, I'll say, there should be an accountability to it, right? So that at
Definitely,
least
definitely.
when we are making a profile, it should be a legal, valid profile. I mean, it should be
Yeah,
mine.
it should be
I
admissible
should,
in the court.
exactly. And I should be allowed to make only one profile. Now I can make 10 profiles, right?
Yeah,
So
totally.
I think this change will definitely help a lot of, like, the whole generation coming in, because then the person will be accountable, and there should be some um control over hate speeches, control over all these activities, whether it's body shaming or, planning to do something which is criminal, offensive, or whatever we can say. So anyone on the closing comment want to add on to this?
Yeah. So in the end, what we can do is, we know our people around us who may say something like this. It's our duty, our job to stop them there and there.
Yeah,
So,
very
and not just
important.
explain, but make sure it should fit in their heads that never to do that again, never to objectify someone, never to
Yeah.
insult someone in such a way. So that's something we can do on our level.
Again, very important point, Malvika, that, yeah, as in a friend or as in whatever role we play, like Delvin is having a younger brother, he can try to, tell him some facts, which is, he might understand, and not do something which is, even Ryan is having a younger brother. So all of you guys, whatever possible from like our end, we can do that much, right? Contribute. And Cleon is the youngest one, so he might get tips from his brother. So yes, Malvika, that was a very good point, that from individual end, if anybody is posting such thing or making such kind of whatever videos or whatever thing, we can actually, we cannot stop them, but we can at least try to make them understand, ki boss, something
Try not
you
to be
can,
indifferent towards it at
Okay.
least.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think see, at the end of the day, especially in boys' locker room, what happened wrong was the media trial, or in this case, social media trial that happened.
True.
where the people themselves were the judge and executioner of something they did not even know.
Yeah, they declared.
the
They
line-
decided.
Yeah, and the
Yeah.
lines between accused and convict was blurred, and it was all one thing at that point. So
Yeah.
that's where the thing lies, because also, as I said, accountability, right? The platform has to be held accountable, the users
Yeah.
have to be held accountable, because they are going against the fundamental laws of the judiciary system itself. Because
Even
we
media
thrive
should
on-
be held accountable.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah, agreed,
media
but
Yeah,
doing the media trial every time. I guess most of the cases, media has done the trial.
yeah,
and
they've
social
bossed it down,
media-
even
Yeah.
social media just makes it more easier for the users to do it. Like if I want to hold someone on trial on social media, I can do it right now in a few minutes.
Exactly.
So that's the kind of power is in my hands, and since great power comes great responsibility. And also we are going against the foundation of a judiciary system, which itself is an insult to democracy as a whole.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we have
Correct.
two things to keep in mind. One is that our judiciary system works on that presumption of person being innocent until proven guilty without a reasonable
Yeah.
cause. And the second one being, even if one 100 convicts are set free, one innocent shouldn't be jailed. In fact, these
Mhm.
two are in the UN, are accepted by the UN as the general universal judiciary
Yes.
law, and we all follow it. It's not just
Yeah.
something that a philosopher came up with. It's a law that we follow. But the media trials, what happens, or what happened in social media, all this stuff is exactly going against it.
Yeah.
You are going against, just standing on top of two fundamental philosophies that the law is based on. So, and when you're not including accountability in it, you're just making it anarchy, right? You're just opening it up for
Correct.
everyone to
Yeah.
like the mob mentality. Like it's not allowed, but it's happening.
mob
and no one gives two
mentality,
shits
yeah.
about it. Yeah, it's a mob mentality.
It's a mob
Because
mentality.
at the end of the day, it's like an emotional response to a problem. That
Yeah.
doesn't mean it's a rational one. Like I see someone getting molested and coming up and telling me on social media, I got molested by this person. I'll definitely
Yeah.
end up hating him, because that's my emotional way of dealing with stuff.
Perfect.
But when you sit back and think twice, it's like it's not the rational way to go ahead. And there
Mhm.
are obviously, since as we discussed, about 99% of the cases that come in the fast track courts of rape are usually false. That
False.
that
Yeah.
in itself gives the kind of because if rape cases that were filed were false, just imagine the rape accusations on social media, the level of
Yeah.
difference, because
Yeah,
that is
level
much
of-
more easier
yeah.
to do, right? That's much more easier to get to. So if at the end of the day, it all boils down to accountability.
Accountability. And then
If you set an example of someone being accountable for something they did on social media, I wouldn't say it will stop, but it will curb down to an extent that we can
yes,
breathe.
it'll
triumphantly.
definitely, because people will be scared to put anything which is
Yeah,
which is
Which is
not
false.
inappropriate. Yeah.
yeah.
That's true. So guys, we'll wind up for this session today. Okay, it was a great discussion. Thank you all of you for joining the discussion,
ma'am.
and it was like a lot of
Thank you.
valid
Thank you.
points, I
No
guess.
problem.
There's a lot of valid points, whether it was accountability, whether it was the media trial, negative pointers.
Yeah.
Sure.
Thank you for joining in, guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you for watching, guys, and I would really request, if you like the video, please hit the like button, subscribe and share. Do let us know in the comment below what you think about this discussion.